George Zimmerman is back in the courtroom tomorrow for week 2 of his murder trial. HLN legal correspondent Jean Casares is back with us again today. Jean, thanks for joining us. What can we expect this week? Last week was very intense. What's going to happen,
It's going to be another really big week because the prosecution has pivotal witnesses left to put on. First of all, a ballistics expert is going to take the stand, we believe, that's going to talk about the gun because the prosecution is going to want the jury to really see that the magazine was fully loaded, there was a bullet in the chamber ready to shoot that gun, and the gun did not have a safety on it at all, so it was ready to shoot, and the prosecution will want the jury to see that. Also, DNA. We know that DNA was done on the clothes, on the gun. We know that a DNA profile was found on the gun, but we don't know who it belonged to because that is someone else that actually analyzes the results. Remember, George Zimmerman said he thought that Trayvon Martin was reaching for that gun. Well, whose DNA is on that gun? That will be pivotal. The medical examiner will take the stand to talk about the wound to Trayvon Martin, the gunshot that killed him. And here's what's important about that, the trajectory of the shot. Because could it be that George Zimmerman was on the bottom? Is that what the trajectory of the shot shows? And finally, Natasha, critical for the prosecution, the statements of George Zimmerman. He gave a written statement. He gave at least 2 audio tape statements and then the videotaped recreation that he did the day after he shot Trayvon Martin.
And Gina, I understand too that prosecutors have a problem with what, with that statement. What exactly are they looking at closely?
This might be, Natasha, some of their strongest evidence, George Zimmerman, because remember in opening statements they said it's George Zimmerman himself that is going to tell you that he committed murder. This is what they're talking about. There are a lot of inconsistencies in these statements. For instance, in the videotaped recreation, he talks about that Trayvon Martin came toward him and circled his car. But he doesn't say that in the non-emergency 911 call. He just says he's coming for him and he's grabbing for something he believes in his waistband. And I think the demeanor they will want the jury to see, the demeanor of nonchalant, not caring at all, but the defense can turn that around. You do see his injuries the day after, so the defense will make what they can of this. But remember, not all of the tapes are going to come in the prosecution's case because there has been a ruling by the judge that there cannot be self-serving hearsay. In other words, those are things that help George Zimmerman. So you're only going to see bits and pieces, the inconsistencies.
Jean Casares with so much helpful information explaining how this all goes down in court. Appreciate it very much.